day of the government facing even more questions on this evictions ban.
That's right, and of course it is no surprise that if there was a suggestion of there being a coalition divided about the extension of the evictions ban, that it would be something that would be in the public interest to know about. But this allegation did come from a slightly unlikely source, a radio interview yesterday by the housing campaigner Peter McVerry, who suggested that it was given to him by what he considered to be a trusted cabinet source, that Darragh O'Brien had gone to cabinet proposing the extension of that winter evictions ban and was overruled by the Taoiseach. Now, we haven't heard from very many ministers in the last 24 hours to be able to put that to them, because they've been largely thin on the ground when the Dáil has been on recess. But we have today been speaking to Sinn Féin's Matt Carthy, who believes that this is a plausible argument and it may explain what he sees as inaction on the part of the Department of Housing.
I think the Department of Housing were clearly working under the expectation that the eviction ban was going to be extended. There is no other explanation for the debacle that we've seen over recent weeks. It's the reason why no plan was in place. It's the reason why so many local authorities have virtually no emergency accommodation. It's the reason why there was no clarity on the tenant in situ scheme. And it's the reason why now over 7,000 families have eviction notices and they literally can't be told by government where they will go, because government don't have the answer to that question.
Now, that is the argument being put forward by the opposition. They believe that it's tenable. However, Darragh O'Brien today has insisted that there's absolutely nothing to do to this whole allegation. A spokesperson of his has told us in the last few minutes that Minister O'Brien firmly believes that the decision to end the winter evictions moratorium as planned on March 31st was the correct decision. The Minister has said this consistently, and they say that there is no question of him being overruled as suggested. So as far as they say it, they say that this was a principled stance taken by the government, that Darragh O'Brien did only ever intend for this to be a winter evictions ban, and that he always intended for it to lapse at the end of March. The government once again defending the actions that it's done in the meantime to try and provide more housing for people during the 5 months of that, and also this lunchtime clarifying some details of the cost rental tenant in situ scheme, where some people who are not currently in receipt of any kind of rental supports, they're not on HAP or they're not on a RAS scheme, will be possibly entitled to have their home purchased by a local authority or an approved housing body if they're made homeless. Plans there involving a household being eligible for those supports if they have net income of less than €53,000 a year.